Welcome back. To Remain, Rome, Return. I thought you were going to pick it up for me, but you just stared blankly.
I was gonna let you play it out, man.
You look like you just got back from an amateur golf tournament.
I was like, you know, when you like look in your closet and you're like, I haven't worn that shirt in a bit.
And then you're like, oh yeah, there's a reason for that.
And then I put it on. I was like, oh, am I wearing an eye test?
More like a Rorschach test. I see my father abandoning the family.
Oh, I don't know if I want to talk about it on here or not, but I did think of a good like short story.
Ooh.
We might as well talk about it.
Let's do it. What are they going to do? Steal it?
That's true. No, it's
Nobody listens to this.
I think it would work better as a short story than a full film, but or whatever, short film. What the fuck is that called? Short
story.
Eat my shorts. I'm Bart Simpson.
Damien is short.
But it would be a mockumentary.
Oh, okay.
About us trying to find your dad.
Oh,
because we could very easily like do it in Omaha with just a cell phone and like a clip mic, and like especially if it's a mockumentary, being like, "This is the search for like Damien's dad."
Honestly, I really want to do that. We gotta have a twist though. It's got to be a twist.
But have it set like just in Omaha, or like we could do it in LA, but like, you know, enough spots like people aren't gonna be weirded out if we're like filming in places.
Nah, nobody gives a shit. Two white guys filming just looks like a TikTok.
Yeah, especially if we're just using phones, and so
that sounds fun, actually.
Yeah, it's not a fully flawed idea, but I was like, oh, this would be good.
We have a couple of ideas as far as films and TV shows, so at some point we're going to have to actually get started on that.
Yeah, I feel like that's an easy one to do because, again, we can just use our phones. Mockumentaries are like fairly easy, and so
anybody who wants to help us write and create and direct that, let us know, because we really do want to start getting started on some of this stuff.
Yeah, even though we live far away.
Yeah.
We'll just have to knock it out in like a week.
It's just a number, man. Distance is just a number.
That was the last episode. I don't know if I can carry on though. Yeah, man.
You said it was a new character. I was trying to lead you into it.
That's true. I'm realizing it almost sounds like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I was going to say it kind of sounds like Cheech or Chong, whoever's in a 70s show.
Chong. No.
Right?
Yeah,
no,
Chong.
I think it's Cheech.
Tommy Chong, right?
Tommy Chong. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the Asian guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like. And then the twist of the movie is just you come in and you're my dad, but you're that character. Hey, man.
Hey, man. Sorry I left.
Had to go catch a rip curl, dude.
The only other thing is I thought would be really funny, but I wouldn't want to make it because of what we would have to do to make it would be.
No, I will not have sex with you on camera.
On camera. Wink.
There's always a stipulation. Yeah. Oh, that's even better.
Again, going back to, I don't know why I was thinking about you and your dad. Actually, one of our bits from the show.
You're the only one, buddy.
Is you're convinced that your dad is the lead singer of ICP, and so we have to go to the gathering to get you in contact with him.
Violent J, that's my dad.
And so we have to go to, and it's like one of those like trip, like, you know, kind of cliche, like montages of us trying to get to the gathering.
Get a flat tire.
Yeah.
Got to stop and get a bunch of Faygo on the way. Then we drink too much, so then we have to piss in the Faygo bottles. It's a whole snafu, I'm sure.
And then I was like, I'm not paying to go to the gathering.
Honestly, I would go just for research.
Yeah.
Then I come back, face paint. It's about family, man.
I didn't meet my dad, but I did gain a family.
Oh, no. That's the tagline of the movie.
When searching for a dad, got a family.
Oh, the family you choose.
There's just one of our listeners who's very into ICP who's like, if they keep knocking them down.
I swear I'm unsubscribing next time they do this. Give them one more chance. Anyways, I'm just getting back from Portland.
Yeah, what were you doing in Portland?
Wanted to get weird.
Yeah. Is Portland still weird?
It kind of sucks, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I've heard a lot of people love it up there, but
that's what I've heard too. Everybody says it's a lot of fun. There's a lot to do. We went with like a list of things, and
I guess like off the top of my head, I can't say one thing you would do in Portland that you couldn't do in any other city.
Everybody said coffee. We went to 5 actual like what do you call it, like independently owned coffee shops. Didn't like any of them. Yeah, like actual cafes. Was not a fan. The best coffee that we had while we were there was Stumptown, which is like a big
that's
proprietor.
You can buy Stumptown coffee beans at pretty much any grocery store, I feel, nowadays.
Yeah, and that was by far the best coffee we had. Everybody talked about the breweries, but we stayed in the Pearl District and we didn't stumble into one brewery.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's because it's on the water technically.
It's like kind of by the river, I guess. Okay. So essentially the Pearl District is on, I don't know, the west. I don't know what is west and east, honestly, but the Pearl District is on one side of the river and the other stuff is on the other side. And we stayed in the Pearl District based on recommendations, and it turns out everything that we actually would have liked to do was on the other side. So it went from, yeah, Portland's great. There's a lot of cool stuff to do. It's very walkable. And I will say, credit where credit's due. The first 2 days we were there, it was really nice. Yeah. It was like 78 and sunny, which was rare for Portland.
I was about to say, it sounds like it'd be rainy.
It generally is. And so the first 2 days were fun because we were just walking around getting to know the city a little bit. The first 2 days combined, we probably walked like 16 plus miles.
Oh, damn.
And then the third day was a full, because I was still kind of working during those days, like for a couple hours here and there. And so then the third day was a full day off.
Yeah.
And it was gloomy and rainy. And we had realized at that point, we have pretty much walked the entirety of the Pearl District in 2 days. So then from then on, we had to take Ubers everywhere, which is exactly what we didn't want to do. Mm-hmm. And so, I don't know, we had one great restaurant.
I was about to say, it sounds like a place would be good for restaurants, but
that's what we thought too. But we went to a couple of different places. We went to like a seafood place, and I ordered the monkfish, and Abby got like a mussels and pasta dish. Mm-hmm. And it was just, bland. There was no seasoning. It was cooked well.
Yeah.
But there was just no flavor whatsoever. Shout out to, hold on, fill in the void here real quick. I do want to give this place a shout out because it was the best. It's called Eem, E-E-M.
E-E-M, okay.
It's like a Thai barbecue style place. Fantastic. That was by far the best restaurant we had there. So if you're going to go to Portland, make sure you check out Eem.
Yeah, it's, for me, I don't know if I'd want to go to Portland. Like, I know Portland's supposed to have all this culture and stuff, and like, at that point, I think I'd rather go to Seattle, but I know Seattle is more not what it was, especially as we learned from blanking on every guest apparently we've ever had today.
You talking about Milo?
Milo, there we go. Yeah. I knew it was an M. I was like, Miko does not sound correct. But
I don't remember having a little Asian lady on.
Miko. But yeah, it's, from what you're describing, Portland just sounds like a lesser cool Seattle, or like not like a smaller version, or like.
That's exactly what Abby and I said. We were like, I would have rather gone to Seattle.
Because have you guys gone to Seattle?
Yeah.
We have
Seattle
not.
Fucking rules.
It's on the list for sure. But yeah, it sounds like, because like you have the fish market and like all those good fish places, and there are really the mountains are there. It's more like hiking and like
Yeah.
that
Seattle's a
aspect.
great food town.
Yeah.
Everywhere that we ate in Seattle was awesome. It was very hard to find really, really great food in Portland. And I don't know, write us and tell me I'm a dipshit, but you got to provide proof because we were there for 4.5 days and I was not impressed.
Yeah, and it also sounds like you went with recommendations and
Mm-hmm.
like you weren't just like, oh yeah, we didn't find anything
No.
versus like you did search it out
Yep,
and
we went with a list. I mean, we went to the Shanghai Tunnel bar,
mm-hmm.
but also we did the underground tour in Seattle, and it's just like it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I think what I was telling Abby too was maybe we're just kind of spoiled.
Yeah.
You know?
You also live in one of the best cities for everything. Like,
Yeah.
let's just be honest. Like, I know I talk shit. I'd never again ever move to LA, but
Mm-hmm.
you have, if you want something, it's gonna most likely be there. Any restaurant you want, like I don't even know how many Michelin star restaurants are in LA. It's probably a shit ton though. But,
Tons. Yeah.
like it's there if you want any type of food you want, like things to do, all those things. Like you already have it where you live. Versus me, like we don't have as much, of course, and so it's probably cooler to do that stuff. Like to
Maybe
go
that's
out.
what it is. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I also think it may be time to stop going just to cities.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like maybe I think maybe what I'm finding is every US city, like the actual itself city, I think they're all pretty much the same.
well, I think there are carve outs, of course, like talking about
Mm-hmm.
LA, like New Orleans. New Orleans is so distinctly different from everything,
Mm-hmm.
or New York City is so uniquely different um, in that aspect too. Even Chicago, a little bit. It's still
Yeah.
like but like Portland, again, I can't. Nothing. I've never heard of anything that really stands out, or like even San Francisco. I'll go a little different. Is
Mm-hmm.
there's enough where you're like, oh, I know things that are there, like the Golden Gate Bridge or like Alcatraz or like
Mm-hmm.
not maybe some all the touristy stuff, but you
Yeah.
know, can Portland sounds like Kansas City.
Honestly, yeah, it was like
They're about the same size. Like Portland probably has like, the culture, but like
not really. Not really.
oh,
It was pretty much all white people.
so Kansas City.
Yeah, it was pretty much all
Actually,
white
Kansas
people.
Kansas City might be more diverse.
On as far as like culture and like race goes, I would say so.
Yeah.
The biggest um population difference that I saw was just in the trans community.
Yeah.
Huge portion of the trans community there, but it was almost all white people.
Yeah.
Now, again, I'm not saying that statistic. That's just
No, I
my
think that is true.
idiot brain.
I think that's what I've
But
heard. One thing people have said about Portland is
mm-hmm.
that, but yeah, or like there are cities that are very distinct, but they're also, yeah, like I don't know. I'm trying to think of it like Cincinnati,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah, yeah.
or
Shout out to our last guest. Whoops.
which you would probably claim like there are a lot of cool like you have to really dig for them, but like
Mm-hmm.
again, are they gonna still compare to like L.A. or New York or New Orleans?
Right,
Like,
and I think that's what I mean. Again, I kind of sound like a douchebag, but I maybe that's what I mean by having to stop visiting cities because I live in LA. We go and travel to these European cities and stuff like that, and then you go to some of these other places like Portland or some of these other places, and you're like, it's just devoid of culture. Like culture is devoid of uniqueness, and so when you go to Portland and you hear "keep Portland weird" or whatever, you're like, it's not weird. It's just kind of trashy.
I think Portland is a good place to live, not a good place to visit.
I could see that. I don't
I
know
think
that I'd
that
want to live there though.
I think that's the probably more distinction. Like you
Yeah.
said, like it's very open to like trans people, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's a very good place for like in that aspect. where you can like, having a place where you can feel safe to live,
Right.
like that's very attractive to people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get it from that perspective, but yeah, again, I don't even know why you like what industries are in Portland that would be like they got to be big enough to have an NBA team.
That's true. That's true. We did another recommendation if you go. So Eam,
Mm-hmm.
got to go to, and then there's Saturday, Sunday, like River Walk Market.
Oh, like a
We
big
went
farmers
there.
market.
It was really cool. We got 3 paintings
Ooh.
from like local Portland artists that are really
Mm-hmm.
cool. If I remember while I'm editing this, I'll shout out the handles of the
Yeah.
guys that we bought stuff from. Very good artists. But yeah, I don't know. Probably
It's
won't be going back.
okay. That's good to know. I don't think because originally at one point me and Abby eventually would love to do would be like we were planning to do Portland, Seattle, and Vancouver all in one
Vancouver is
trip
fucking awesome.
because we've never been to there. And
You would
so
love Seattle.
I've been
It's
told
great.
that. I have a really good buddy. Shout out to Adam. Him and his wife live up there.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so he's like, yeah, whenever you want to come, just let us know.
I got some recs for you. Let me know. Let me know
Yeah,
when you're gonna go. I got some recommendations.
it's one of those cities that's very distinctly different. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
every city is gonna have like, I think every city you could probably find unique stuff to do in a day, but
Mm-hmm.
anything outside, like even Omaha, we were just I can't remember if it was now or earlier where we're talking about you're gonna have some friends be coming with you to Omaha. It's like, yeah, like long weekend at max.
Yeah,
Or else it's gonna like suck. You're gonna leave with a bad taste kind of thing.
I
But like
agree. Yeah.
Omaha has enough, especially like if you take them to the zoo. Like I know that is one of the funniest things that we say about Omaha, but I've been to a lot of zoos. We both like traveled a lot and it holds up very well. And it just keeps getting better. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You probably, when was the last time you went to the zoo?
Probably 5 years ago.
Yeah, even in that time, it's like,
There
it's,
was a lot of construction last time I was there.
yeah. And it's becoming more like, I mean this in a good way, not a bad, more like theme park in the essence of the like immersion of like, you feel like you're actually like in those places.
And there's actual attractions
Yeah.
to like where like you go to the jungle
Yeah.
and it's this enclosed like orb and it's literally the atmosphere of the jungle. You go to the what's it called? The night
Oh, Kingdom of the Night.
Kingdom of the Night
Yeah.
and it's
Or
all like pitch black.
yeah.
So they really immerse you. So I think a theme like it is a theme park zoo.
Yeah.
There's themes to every different thing that
And
you go to.
they're getting so much better too. I don't remember if when you were here was the new Asian exhibit done yet?
Oh, is that where the red panda was?
No, it's where like the snow leopard and
Oh
like
no, we haven't been there yet.
oh that is like Universal Disney-esque level of like you start to walk in. It's trying to think what like I don't want to say Everest area, but like that part of Asia, the Himalayas. There we go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But so it's like you walk in and it has like the entrance to it feels like a like Universal Disney entrance, and they play like you know Asian like flute music and stuff.
Hell
So
yeah.
like that immersion bar, and it's like, and it's not like a zoo where you're like, oh, this is just a kiddie jail. The old zoo. Old zoo, I will admit, where they kept the big cats like tigers and lions, and that was a prison for cats.
It was bad. That was
It
always
looked
the
like a
part.
prison. It looked, and that is not like they actually make it look like the actual habitat now.
Mm-hmm. Give them more space.
Yeah, give them more space. Actual like what they would have at home, like for the snow leopard, it actually like looks like a mountain, like it would be a side of a mountain, and so.
Mm-hmm. So do you want to go to the zoo with us when we're back then?
Potentially.
Okay, cool.
We'll see if we can make that happen.
Yeah. Or like mid-October, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, if like that's a whole day, you're so tired. And I think I almost like that more than me and Abby did love Disneyland, but at the zoo you don't have to wait in the lines.
That's true. Yeah, it's just a
That
consistent
is
flow.
yes. Like you can kind of stop and look, but like you're not like, well, I want to see, the animal you want to see. I'm going to have to wait an hour to see this animal. No, you just walk.
Yeah, walk up, see it, take your pictures, and move on.
Like,
No,
oh,
it's
that's
really cool, man. I'm excited to hit the Henry Dorley again. It's been a long time.
Yeah. No, I will say it's only gotten better, which is good to say. Like they actually care.
And it's
Again,
been in the top zoos for decades. So
yeah,
that should tell you how much better it is now. If it's improving and it's been in the top for that long.
It's not gonna ever hit Sandy. It's never gonna knock San Diego off. Like
what? That's what it is. Sorry to interrupt, but that's the comparison I want to make with Portland real quick.
San Diego?
It's like San Diego on fentanyl.
So like slow down?
Just slowed down and like boring and drab, and it wants to be a coastal city so bad, but it just doesn't have the vibe of it. You know what I mean? You said San Diego, and that's the first thing I thought. I was like, it is like a wannabe San Diego.
Yeah, because I guess San Diego's biggest point is like the beach, but then outside of the beach, I really don't know what San Diego's got going for it.
Come to me, dude.
And the zoo.
I'll show you.
There's zoo.
I'll show you San Diego. San Diego fucking rules. It's probably my favorite coastal, like West Coast city.
Even over LA?
Yes.
I can see.
Yes. It's much more manageable.
But also 1,000 times more expensive.
Sure. Which is why we don't live there. But it's fun to visit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got the Little Italy district. It's got the gas lamp district.
Yeah.
Which is where we spend most of our time. Great restaurants, incredible bar scene. The bar scene in Portland was just okay. We met some cool people while we were in Portland, had some good conversations with strangers and stuff like that. Yeah. But like, for instance, the coolest person we met, she was from San Diego, moved to Portland, had been there for about 6 years and was like, I can't get out of here quick enough.
Oh, wow.
And was planning to leave like in a couple months.
Yeah.
Hated it. Absolutely hated it.
The weather or just everything about it?
Everything about it. The weather was a big one. It being so gray that many days a year.
Yeah.
But then also she's like, it's expensive. There's not a whole lot to do. Like, I've been here for 7 years and there isn't a single thing that I haven't done yet.
Yeah, that's because at least it again kind of sounds like Omaha is this as well. Like the one good thing about Omaha, it's still cheap.
Yeah.
But
relatively, I mean, it's gone up in price.
But you can still like. My sister just bought a house. Like again, it probably a decade ago would have been half the cost, but like she has like a decent job, but not like a normal person job pay scale in Omaha, and she was able to buy a house.
Okay, that's good because sometimes I look at Zillow just out of curiosity to see what Omaha looks like, and I'm like, man, a family size house now went from $180,000 to like $350,000.
Yeah.
So it has significantly increased, but again, $350,000 for a family home is not that expensive.
Even I would say that's even still on the. I would say maybe that's about even. I would say you can still find a really good family home for under $300,000. At least here, maybe not Omaha, Lincoln for sure.
Omaha though, you go to some of those like those newer developed places. It's pretty crazy. I saw one for like $500,000 that was like the size of my house in LA.
Yeah,
which we have a good size. It's not that big though.
Yeah, that's a little pricey compared. Yeah. Like you've seen what my house is, and it's not 500,000.
Yeah, and maybe it would be in a new part of Omaha. Your house is also pretty old.
Yeah, but it's also like think about like I guess if it wasn't if my house is like a Dundee house, it probably would be Dundee prices.
Yeah. I'm excited to take Jeff and Ida to Dundee. Honestly, that neighborhood I still think about that neighborhood a lot. If we ever moved back to Omaha, it would probably be the Dundee area.
Yeah. No.
More than likely.
I absolutely. I guess we're gonna go on one of my tangent.
Yeah.
Of like, I live in like the Dundee of Lincoln kind of area is how I describe it. Like 100-year-old brick homes, and everyone's very like-minded in a good way,
and very like pretty but low profile. You know what I mean? Like a very, what do they call those? Like eclectic? Not eclectic. That's a bad word.
No,
just very like homey.
They're unique. They're like it's definitely the opposite of cookie cutter. Like
yeah, exactly.
No house on my. They all, I would say, have a similar theme, but they don't look alike.
Sure.
If that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
they're all old, nice red brick or like stone, but they're all different shapes. Maybe that versus like a suburb where you're like, oh, you picked the one of three patterns that got to pick, or
understated. That's the word I was thinking of.
Yes,
it's nice but understated. It's not like gaudy and mansions, and
that's the other side of the country club. But they're like, again, they're not. I wouldn't call them McMansions, but they're like they were built like in the early 20s, like the like Great Gatsby kind of homes.
Yes,
like they're massive, but they're old, but also really well maintained. Like there's one that we call like right near, not that far away from us. We call it the Chateau because honestly, it looks like a French chateau. Like
that's kind of cool though.
Yeah,
that's in Lincoln.
Yeah,
I want to see that house when we go.
Yeah, there's some like houses where you're like, oh, I thought that was two separate houses.
Yeah. There is something inherently fun about just driving around looking at nice houses.
Yeah, that's definitely our neighborhood area. We're like on the outskirts of it. Like,
okay.
We're like, our house again still very nice, but like the other side of the country club is like for Nebraska, like multi-million. Like,
yeah.
We drive like past the people who own Runza.
No shit.
Yeah, we know
where that become friends with them.
We do. Actually, when Abby was teaching at the middle school Abby taught at is like right down, like less than a quarter of a mile away from where we live. But it's so like she taught the people who own Runza's kids or like part of that family, Laszlo's.
Oh, okay, nice.
And then like the dean of my law school, Abby taught his son.
Wow. Okay.
So it's a nice area.
Yeah, I would say so.
And it's like, again, I don't want to say affordable, but like if my house was in LA, I couldn't even look at it. They wouldn't allow me to look at it.
Yeah, it's gated off.
Yeah, it would be like Pasadena probably.
Yeah.
Like those kind of homes. I would say, yeah, kind of like that, like Pasadena homes.
So do you like, I think we've talked about it on this before. I live in a pretty nice suburb in LA, but I don't know anything about my neighbors. So you having that kind of community, like that, those houses there in that style, are you friends with your neighbors? Like, is it a possibility you could get to know the Runzas?
No, they live across the major street from us, but we do know, like, especially since it's been nice out, everyone's out in their yards, and we have a dog, and so we walk him as you should walk a dog.
What?
Basic pet ownership. But yeah, so like the last like week, it's been like normally our walks are like during the winter we're like maybe I would say like 15 minutes or something. I don't know. But now it's like half an hour because you get stopped and you start talking to your neighbors because everyone like. And so, yeah, I know I wouldn't say, well, one of them we did hang out with till midnight one night.
Okay, nice.
Because,
so you had to cut ties with them quick because you can't be up that late.
No, he was like, because he's not actually probably about your mom's age. I have old parents. So like,
yeah.
So what he had done, they went to Millard West. His daughters, but they bought the house for them to when they were in college to live in.
Are these the co-eds?
Yeah. I forgot we talked about that. Well, now they had nothing to do with us. But the dad like comes in and like it's sitting empty, but comes in and checks on it, and like they had completely like gutted and redid it. And so we were talking to him one time, and he was like, "Do you want a tour? Like, do you want to see the inside?" We're like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Do you want wine?" I was like, "Yeah." And so
only really if it hasn't been opened yet. I do not want to go into an empty, gutted house with a pre-opened bottle of wine. I will never come back out.
No. And they redid it super well. I was like, oh, wow, this is would be nice to pay people to do this and not me having to do it.
Which you've been doing nonstop, it seems like.
Dude, I think I even told you, like, since Thursday night, I think I've sat on like my couch for maybe 10 minutes.
Busy ripping up all the copper so you can get some money?
Yeah, all the copper. Luckily, we don't have lead pipes. That's nice. No, we're currently like redoing our basement. And so it's just been a process. Like even just painting it has been taking me so long. Yeah. It's been like a week-long progress of like trying to do it while also like, full-time job. It just takes forever to do anything.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to next week. Next week we are, because it's Memorial Day. Shout out. I know obviously that's a stupid thing to say on a podcast that's coming out later, but next weekend is Memorial Day weekend. And so we have that Monday off.
Yeah.
And so we are finally starting to pull up the carpet in my office. In this. It's carpeted, which I hate because I have a rolly chair and a desk that I work at. Mm-hmm. And it just sucks to be on carpet. So we're going to rip up the carpet and lay down new wood floors.
Ooh.
So we're going to try to get that done in the 3 days we have off. And then, of course, this is how like unintelligent I am. I made plans with 2 separate people to hang out over that weekend. So I'm going to have to, Friday night, immediately once I'm done with work, take everything out of this office and start ripping up the carpet Friday night. And I'm going to have to try to finish it Saturday because then we're hanging out Sunday and Monday with friends.
That's kind of how it's been for me too. Is like, I'm still running and then also like trying to hang out with people. It's just.
And then you got to do this dumbass podcast.
I know. Actually, right after this, I'm about to go tape the seal. Also, painting a ceiling is not enjoyable. It was terrible. And like,
that's why I'm actually glad we have popcorn ceilings. It's the one reason I'm glad we have them.
Yeah. Still need to paint them.
No. They look perfect.
No, I was like, our ceilings were white, and then I started to paint them. I was like, oh, God. They were beige.
Oof. Yeah. And then painting ceilings sucks because it drips like crazy.
Yeah. I got done, and then like I looked at myself, and I was like, oh, I didn't get that many. And then I really looked, and I was like, I have micro specks all over me.
Yep.
And like, I was like, God damn it. Luckily I was wearing a hat, so it didn't get like all up my hair or anything, but it was a process for sure.
Well, maybe one day we can stop doing this podcast so you have more time to.
Well, we didn't do it last week. So it was, I was like, oh, thank God. I don't like, cause it was like 1:55 when we usually record to my time, and I was like, I am covered in paint.
That would have been a fun episode though. Just immediately your hair's all matted from the paint. You're like, ugh.
This was a bad choice.
Second layer complete.
God, it's just all the bullshit of painting too. Like you can't just paint. You have to you have to tape everything off. You have to fix the holes. There were so many holes in this basement too.
Why?
It's
my anger room.
No.
All right, settle down, Kyle.
They they had all these like telephone lines. There are at least 2 because again, the house is so old it had like a need for telephones.
Yeah.
So I had to take those out, and so that left holes. And then like there was like a light switch that didn't lead to anywhere. So I took
We have those
out.
all over this house too.
Yeah. So like I figured out, I was like, oh, this literally is connected to nothing. So I took it out, but that also meant it left a giant hole.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, fucking, I got like, I don't know, the white lung from like the salt from like drywall dust. Because the first day when I did it, when I was sanding, I forgot to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Abby's like, you got it. I was like,
fucking asbestos, dude.
And we have that, but
I figured, yeah, that's why we don't take down the popcorn ceilings either.
Yeah, we just
probably just full of asbestos. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
White lung, is that just when you get a sniff of something with black pepper on it? Ooh, spicy.
Me and Abby were talking. I think we probably talked about this. How like the theory that white people can't handle spiciness is also, I saw, I think on a tweet or something, is like a rich versus poverty thing. It must be rich because every poor person I know like eats hot sauce called like the Ass Blaster 3000. Think about it.
That's true. I mean, realistically, I always liked spice because it added flavor to things that didn't have flavor.
Or covers up the taste of things.
Or covers up bad cooking.
Yeah.
That and cheese. Government cheese.
Government cheese.
Cheese.
Well, think about it. Hot sauce. It doesn't expire.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to keep it in the fridge because it's so acidic.
Yeah.
And then like it covers up like, especially if you have like lower quality meat too.
Yeah.
Like
no, I love, that's the reason I started getting into spice was for that. And now I just love it. But I also don't like spice just for the sake of spice.
Yeah. Again, I'm not eating anal collapser hot sauce.
The anal prolapser 500.
Like,
there were 400 versions before that, and they settled on this one.
Yeah, like I don't even know like there's a rating scale for hot sauce. I don't really watch Hot Ones, but I've seen them here and there, or clips. I'm not watching things. I'm just watching clips.
It's based on the capsaicin amount, essentially.
Yeah. I figured you would know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
This one, 32 million thousand bajillion. You won't taste for years.
The ones where you smell it and you start coughing, those ones I don't like.
Yeah, again, we've definitely talked about like hot for hot's sake. No, hot for flavor. Yes,
absolutely. I did almost meet my match for spiciness in Portland.
Oh,
at Eam, that restaurant that I shouted out.
Thai spiciness like shocks you a little bit. Sometimes I feel
those Thai jalapenos or whatever they are. They're like, I always call them bird's eye chilies because that's what they look like, but they're like Thai peppers.
Yeah.
My God. So the spiciest thing I've eaten in the last probably 5 years was at this restaurant, and it was a cold salad.
Oh,
and it was the
fuck with your brain.
Thing I've ever eaten in a long, long time because it was like papaya and a bunch of vegetables.
Yeah.
And then like pretty thick chopped Thai peppers.
Yeah.
And they put it down and it looks delicious. And you smell it, and it just immediately burns your nostrils. And I was like, oh, this is going to be hot. But we finished it, and it was so delicious. And I found the secret. You order a separate bowl of white rice.
Oh.
And you throw it in there, and it kind of like absorbs that spiciness.
Yeah. So was it so it was still like it was hot, but flavor hot still?
It was spicy, but a cold salad.
Such a weird
which
thought.
is very strange, but it was so delicious. It was like it had like lemon and lime juice on it and papayas and I don't know, a bunch of different vegetables like bell peppers and stuff. It was so fucking good.
That does sound good.
But so spicy. Like almost tapped out.
Oh, that had to be pretty bad then.
And then I kept going and I was like, fuck it. But whew. First bite hits the back of your throat and you start coughing and your nose starts running. You're like, oh, this is gonna be good.
This is gonna be bad. Yeah. No, for me, like again, it's like, well, this is gonna be not good for me tomorrow.
Yeah. And I did not have spicy poops the next day. Oh. I was very surprised.
Those are the worst. Or like heartburn. Just
that one I had.
That one, like you're laying in bed, you're like, ugh, you just like feel it start creeping up the esophagus.
Oh yeah, and then it burns. I'm like, I'm not gonna have an esophagus after this.
Nope.
The esophagus prolapser.
Anal blaster. You're not gonna have an ass after this.
What? Speaking of anal blaster, do you have any recommendations? Need my ass blasted with some
Rick? I am starting to listen to it's a band made of comedians. And they are called the Sloppy Boys.
Okay.
And their songs are they're hilarious, but they're also so well written, like actually good songs.
Yeah, send me some of their stuff.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. The two that really stick out. One is what's
the ass blaster.
No, it actually talks about ass, which is hilarious. Sloppy Boys, baby. It's called I'm Taken, but it's about how he's like married and loves his wife, but it's hilarious because like the chorus is like, keep your mitts off my ass, keep your dirty, filthy mitts off my tight little ass.
Okay, are they local?
No, they're actually LA based.
Oh, okay. Come on the pod.
Yeah, no, they're probably way too big. They had a show on like IFC. I'm trying to remember what the show was called. Nice. They weren't the Sloppy Boys then. They were a different kind of boys, but now they're Sloppy Boys. And then
the Prim and Proper Boys.
The one song I love to sing is called Smashing the Plates.
Okay.
And Abby, well, she first hated it because I wouldn't stop singing just the chorus.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you got to stop saying that. She's like, sing any other song. And I'm like, I can't. I just physically can't.
So they're Greek then?
They do make that joke in the song.
Damn, I'm good.
About smashing plates very specifically at Williams Sonoma.
Okay. I like that.
You kind of want to just play. I just kind of want to play it now.
You're going to get sued.
No, as long as we do... What? I can't remember how many seconds it is.
2.
Is it only 2?
Probably.
I thought it was 30.
We'll just ask them. We'll ask them if we can play it.
Nope.
Nope, we can't. Already checked. So we're going to steal it instead.
Yeah, I wish I could do this without.
That sounds like the exact music that I could see you just jamming out to, having the best time of your life. And Abby's just like, dude, enough.
I have to dance. I think we were listening to the car, and she's in the passenger seat, and I'm just like, I'm smashing the plates. I'm smashing the plates.
And then she gets a plate and just smashes it over your head while you're driving. She's like, kill us both. I'm finished with this. I can't wait to do that to my Abby now. That's the name of this episode. Clip it.
They also rhyme chicken Tachatori with on the floory.
That's so stupid. I love it.
And then
if they can make it big, there's no reason we can't make something.
Well, they were already big, and then they made a band. Yeah, but yeah, you'll listen to it. You'll get off the podcast, listen to it, and then text me and be like, "Oh yes,
I'm gonna listen to that while I'm editing."
No, they're every
song, 4 episodes to edit today.
All the songs, they're all like different because they're kind of like parodies, but also fucking fantastic.
Hell yeah!
So shout out, recommend
Sloppy Boys.
The Sloppy Boys. Nosy, yeah. They're too professional for that.
Well, they used to be the Prim and Proper Boys, so couldn't get too crazy.
Yeah, got sloppy.
I actually don't know if I have any recs today. I'm trying to think. It's been so busy. I haven't really been doing anything. Oh, actually, not a rec, but last night we went to see Hot Milk and Magnolia Park.
Ooh.
At the Echoplex in Burbank.
Ooh.
Here's a recommendation. If you're going to the Echoplex, fucking Uber. Do not try to park anywhere near the Echoplex, like near Echo Park.
Okay. I guess I've never heard of the Echoplex.
Me either. That was our first time.
It's a
very strange venue.
What kind? Like, how would you describe it?
It's kind of like Sokol Underground.
Oh.
So like, obviously stage up front, and then it goes back maybe 12 feet, and then it's the sound booth, and there's like 6 pylons. So it really breaks up, and then the rest of the floor is behind the sound booth, and then the bar. So it's like a tiered venue. It's very strange. It's a very weird setup,
That
and like the ceiling above the sound booth is only about 8 to 9 feet tall, but then in front of the stage, that general admission is like vaulted ceiling.
so all the sound just goes up.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah, I would think they would be putting it somewhere bigger than that.
It was. I mean, I would say it probably had like capacity 500-600.
That seems tiny for them.
Yeah, it was sold out. This is the craziest part. It was sold out, and the venue was not shoulder to shoulder.
I wonder if there's like fire code thing or something.
Maybe, yeah, and maybe because it's so segmented, you have to have less capacity or something.
Yeah, that sounds like a tiny venue for what I perceive as a decent sized band.
They're pretty big. I mean, they did a Disney song,
Yeah.
so you would assume that they're pretty popular. But they come to LA all the time. I think this is our third or fourth time seeing them. We saw Hot Milk opened up for them. We'd never seen them before. They were awesome.
How were they?
Very, very like very full energy. Ooh. Very British. We're from Manchester.
From Manchester.
So I was screaming Manchester. I don't know why.
They probably heard you, especially if it was only 500 people.
Yeah, right? I don't even know if there was 500 people. I think the capacity in there is probably like 500 or 600.
But even like
I think there was probably like 350.
That's like a local show event. Like, that's a shocking part. Then, like, you would think they would at least be at like a. When you said Sokol Underground, I was like, not that small, because that was probably capacity at Sokol Underground.
It's like maybe a little bit bigger than Sokol Underground,
which is crazy because that's a small Omaha venue.
Yeah,
I can't imagine like LA actually would have that for like a touring band.
Well, we saw the Blue Stones on their first ever American tour here at a place called the Peppermint Club.
Ooh.
And the capacity there is maybe 150.
Yeah.
My sister and her husband were there with us, shout out. And it was another sold out show. And I think the crowd had maybe 80 people. It was awesome. I love those small shows, though.
I do too. Most of them, are local bands. And so, like, but
in LA, I almost think it's different.
Yeah.
Like, you can tour in LA even as a small, not local band.
That's true.
Because there's enough people that are going to show up.
That's true. And they're going to probably come back within the year.
Yeah. Like Blue Stones has been back 3 or 4 times since then. Mag Park has been back 3 or 4 times. So there's definitely, LA, again, is a great place, even if you're not a huge band, to come and play shows.
That's true. You're going to, like, bands are going to come there no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is cool versus, that's the one sucky thing about. Except, one band will come to Lincoln, but not LA.
One of the things I like the most about going to concerts in LA is I don't have as big of a problem with tall people standing in front of me.
This is based off a text I sent you.
Yeah.
I think you're short in Nebraska, but tall in LA. Yeah. I think is what I sent you. I don't even know the context of why I sent you that, but
it's very true because you sent that to me a couple weeks ago. Now, since I've been to a couple concerts, I'm like, honestly, I don't struggle with really, really tall people in LA like I did in Omaha at concerts.
It's because LA is more diverse and not full of like German and like
Norwegian,
Scandinavian, Czech tall people.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, 55% Hispanic and like 15% Asian. So like I'm doing all right at 5'7".
Yeah, versus Nebraska, you were short. Like,
oh yeah. Every time I went to a concert, I was like, and that's what spawned me actually being a fan of just now going to the very back of the venue.
Yeah.
Because if I'm in the very back, it doesn't ever really matter. But if I'm anywhere in the middle, I can't see anything.
Yeah, I feel like, I think we've talked about this on the concerts, of being like, no matter where I stand, somehow I'm in the pathway.
Yep.
Like, no matter what, it's like, how is this happening?
Dude, I got so mad last night. We were standing right. So literally the sound booth was here, and Abby and I were standing at the sound booth, like right behind it.
Yeah.
There was maybe a 4.5 to 5 inch gap between me and the sound booth, and people were cutting in front of me to get through the crowd. I told you it wasn't full. All of behind me was open. They could have gone right behind me and walked to the other side of the venue, and they were like, "Oh, excuse me," bumping me and spilling my beer. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude? You have no room to walk through here."
Yeah.
So I eventually just started standing sideways. Like, I guess I'll take up that extra couple inches.
Yeah.
Fucking assholes.
Rude LA people.
Luckily, they were all like 4'7", so I just punted them.
You're like, I'm the tall one here.
You're messing with the giant? You get to stomp.
You start angrily stomping, and they're like, what is wrong with this guy? We need it away.
This guy's on some sort of spectrum.
On the spectrum. Yes.
Anyways, what else you got?
I don't know, man.
I don't know either. Well,
I was smashing
the plans. I was smashing the plans. That was smashing the plans.